Welcome to my views and news, another video. First news story is about talks at Tigray Ethiopia talks between Tigray representatives and Ethiopian federal government. Talks were due to be held on Monday. What happened on Monday? Was there any engagement between Tigray representatives and Ethiopian federal government representatives? Talks have been postponed reportedly. Will talks be held tomorrow? And secondly, yesterday, Ethiopian Air Force conducted drone strikes on four villages and towns in central Tigray. Now we are receiving more reports about drone strikes to the south of B-30 highway. It seems that the south of B-30 highway is now the new battlefield towards the areas to the south of B-30 highway. Ground offensive is ongoing. Drone strikes, air strikes are being reported too. Firstly, viewers, an update on Tigray Ethiopia peace talks. Tigray region, Ethiopian government peace talks. On Monday, the talks were slated for Monday, and Ethiopian delegation left Addis Ababa on Monday morning. It means that it arrived in South Africa a few hours after that. Tigray's delegation arrived in South Africa on Sunday night reportedly. And Tigray delegation was on board a US Air Force jet. US Air Force jet flew to Mekelle. Tigray delegation got on board. Then this US Air Force jet took Tigray's delegation to South Africa because Tigray required some assurances related to its security of its delegation. That is why African Union has no planes, I think. And Tigray government was not ready to trust Ethiopian federal government. Tigray government did not want its delegation to travel through Ethiopian airlines. So that is why the US played its role, and US Air Force jet took Tigray's delegation to South Africa. So both delegations arrived in time in South Africa for talks. Mike Hammer is also there. Reportedly, Mike Hammer was on the same flight on which Tigray delegation was. So Mike Hammer there. African Union mediators in South Africa too. Obasanjo there. Kenyatta reportedly 2 days ago confirmed that he would be attending Monday's talks. So everyone was in South Africa on Monday, but no news of any talks so far. Why? Whatever the reason is, but talks could not be held on Monday. Reportedly, talks have been postponed till Tuesday. Hopefully, postponement is just for 24 hours and talks will be held on Tuesday. Most sources say that talks will be held on Tuesday. What is the reason behind this postponement? Again, so far, no official word from African Union, from Tigray regional government, from Ethiopian federal government. It is being claimed by some sources, it is being rumored that Getachew was not feeling well. He was taken to a hospital, but again, unconfirmed because no one has officially confirmed that. Whatever the reason was, talks have been postponed. On Tuesday, there could be start of talks. So, start of talks is taking time. How long will the talks continue? That remains to be seen. Moussa Faki, Africa Union's chief, is due to travel to Canada on Tuesday reportedly. So he might leave for Canada on Tuesday. Other parties are there. US is doing lots of diplomatic work behind the scenes. Antony Blinken, Linda Thomas Greenfield, other US ambassadors, top officials, they are in touch with South African officials, Tigray regional government, Ethiopian federal government, players in Africa, Kenya as well, and they want African countries to play their part. By the way, when UN Security Council meeting was held, I think 3 days ago, about Ethiopia. Back then, a joint statement could not be issued. Why? Because China and Russia opposed a joint statement. Reportedly, African countries were in support of a joint statement. A3, the three African countries part of UN Security Council, Kenya, Ghana, Gabon, they had requested UN Security Council meeting on Ethiopia. Meeting was held. But when it came to joint statement, Russia and China vetoed the joint statement, though the three African countries, they were supportive of a joint statement. Ethiopian government did not want a joint statement as well, joint statement calling for cessation of hostilities. So it means that the three African countries, Kenya, Ghana, Gabon, they wanted a joint statement. Ethiopia opposed it. China, Russia supported Ethiopia. So African countries have been supporting Ethiopia mostly throughout this conflict. But at the last UN Security Council session, Ethiopia and the other three African countries were not in agreement. So behind the scenes, US, EU are doing their diplomacy to convince African countries to put pressure upon Ethiopian government to agree to stopping of war, to cessation of hostilities. Talks delayed. Hopefully tomorrow talks will be held. Probably tomorrow, viewers. Secondly, Ethiopian government has now intensified drone strikes and airstrikes on central Tigray, because central Tigray is now the main battleground. Though Mekelle is still under TDF control, some areas to the north of Mekelle as well, to the west and south as well. But in coming days, central Tigray is going to be the main battleground, and if federal government, Eritrean government, they do not want Tigray fighters to regroup, reorganize. That is why they have launched an intensified air campaign on central Tigray. Yesterday, they carried out drone strikes on 4 villages and towns in central Tigray. Abe Adi was hit, Warkamba was hit, Mekental was hit. And today, Idaga Arbi was hit in some airstrikes. Idaga Arbi is situated to the south of B-30 highway. B-30 highway means Shire, Aksom, Adwa road, main road. And this road is now the front line, you can say. From this road, ENDF and EDF, they'll try to enter central Tigray. And before that, they want to carry out as many drone strikes as possible to hit Tigray fighters who are retreating from other fronts into central Tigray. Drone strikes ongoing, airstrikes ongoing as well. Tigray fighters are gradually withdrawing. They withdrew from Shire, then Slaleka, Vikro, Aksom, Adwa, Adjagarat as well. And now the last stronghold is Mekelle, which is not their stronghold, because obviously they'll retreat from Mekelle as well. So in coming hours or coming days, you might hear about their withdrawal from Mekelle. The Bratzian spoke a few hours ago claiming that Tigray forces were capable of defending the territories of Tigray. He talked about November 2020, June 2021, first phase of the conflict, that the way Tigray forces defended their land in the first phase, they'll do it again. So it means that the way they withdrew from all towns in the first phase, they're going to do the same in this third round of fighting as well. So they might withdraw from Mekelle to incoming hours. Central Tigray, new battlefront. That is why drone strikes are being conducted on daily basis on different towns and villages in central Tigray. Thank you for watching.